Honestly, my mind has been changed about both the name being wrong and also about the huge potential for this web standard. I now think it could radically alter the business models of the web. Hey everyone, I'm Amy James, the co-inventor of Open Index Protocol, and welcome back to the What Kind of Internet Do You Want series. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started. In today's video, we're going to talk about web monetization, and specifically the Web Monetization Standard. So when we planned this season, we weren't going to do a whole series about the Web Monetization Standard. We were just going to do one video. But once I did the research and I started writing, the episode got so long that we decided to break it into a 3-part mini-series. I personally tend to like longer form content because I really just like getting into the details of stuff. And also just logistically, I usually watch stuff while I'm cooking or cleaning, so I want something that's longer. But when I was researching this video, I watched a Sundance collab presentation that was sponsored by Coil, and they shared some tips for content creators. And one of those was that YouTube videos do best when they're between 13 and 15 minutes. I think that this episode will end up being a little bit shorter than that, but pretty close. We had a hunch that shorter videos do better and had been talking about cutting back our video length, but since I personally seek out longer form content, I think that was influencing my perspective and that I'm actually in the minority on this one. Let me know if you prefer shorter or longer videos in the comments. And also, if you are an independent creator, I definitely recommend checking out the Sundance collab video. It really gave me the impression that Coil is genuinely looking for how they can best serve creators, and they have excellent funding opportunities. So we'll link it in the description for you if you want to check it out. Okay, so let's talk about the problems with payments online and why something like web monetization is so desperately needed. The siloed walled garden system we have now hurts creators and users alike and is spectacularly inefficient. So it wastes a lot of the value that flows through the system. In 2015, the New York Times measured the mix of advertising and editorial on the mobile homepages of the top 50 news websites and found that more than half of all data came from ads and other content that is filtered by ad blockers. The economics of the system can even mean that in certain cases, the amount of money the user spent on data for the ad to be served to them is higher than the revenue that is earned by the website or publisher that served the ad to the user. The corruption in online advertising is absolutely stunning. It's such a big topic. We did a whole other video about it, so we'll link that if you want to check it out. Web monetization is something the web desperately needs. It's a drum we have been beating for years at Alexandria Labs. How amazing would it be if creators could get paid directly rather than through intermediaries who leverage too much control? But the problem is there's a hole in the market because of the technical limitations of Web 2. Right now on the web, we have essentially 2 models, ad-based and premium, and that leaves a huge unserved market of content that has value in between those 2 options, right? There's content that is free for the user, but subsidized by some combination of advertising and data mining so that the creator gets paid by the platform that served the ad. And there's premium, which is really just any transaction that's like at least $1. So it could be purchased a la carte or a subscription or pay-per-view or whatever. But right now, creators can't directly sell something to their audience for less than $1, like an advice article for 2 cents, or a video for $0.25, or even a meme for 1/100th of a penny. So if you've been part of the OIP community for a while, you have probably seen this slide before, and I think it really highlights the incredible potential of web monetization for content creators, because Okay, video content creators typically make about 1/5 of a penny for an ad monetized view, but that's a very generalized number. There's a pretty wide range, and it depends on a ton of factors like your genre of content, your geographic location, and a lot of the determining factors are not transparent. But nonetheless, the point remains that there is a tremendous potential upside for content creators. If they were to web monetize their content for only a penny, it would be a dramatic increase in what they earn right now, and their audiences would pay a similar amount or even less compared with what they're now paying to subscription services. While I was researching, it was fun to discover that Stefan Thomas, who is one of the creators of the Web Monetization Standard and the CEO of Coil, which is the first company providing web monetization as a subscription service, that he uses a very similar graphic to the one I use, showing where he sees web monetization fitting into the market. I just found out that he is going to be coming on the show for an interview, so I'm really excited about that. And I really appreciated that when he gives presentations using this graphic, that he's careful to make it clear that it's not about web monetization replacing free ad-supported content or even premium paid content, but rather about supplementing these existing options and filling that hole in the market. I love the twist on freemium to threemium. I'll probably need to steal that phrase. I hope he doesn't mind. So the reason we have this gap in the market is because there's a gap in the web standard itself. There just isn't a native way to do financial transactions in the web specification right now. And in a way, that's really surprising because the inventor of the web anticipated that it would need native payments and reserved an error code for them. So although error code 402 for payment required exists, in 30 years, it still hasn't been formally used. I think the pioneers who built the web believed it would need native payments for good reason. And unfortunately, the absence of a formal standard for it in the specification has meant that the full vision of the web has not yet been realized. So to work around this missing piece, out-of-band monetization like ads, site-by-site subscriptions, and paywalls have been used, but these disrupt the user experience and create lock-in, that siloed walled garden. So the Web Monetization Standard is attempting to be a solution to this problem by offering payments that are baked into the web using open, interoperable protocols where the content and the money are both exchanged natively and directly between peers without the requirement of a third-party intermediary. Web monetization is not meant to be a replacement for advertising or the web payments that are $1 or more. It wouldn't be a very compelling proposition to just take the content that exists on the web today and add the option of removing ads by paying with web monetization. I mean, yes, some people would absolutely want that. And 77% of people say that they feel guilty for running an ad blocker because they know it means that the creators that they enjoy aren't getting paid. But I'd guess that not enough of them would convert based on guilt when everyone is already used to it being free. So the thinking is that the best use case for the Web Monetization Standard, at least at first, is to create new content that is specifically suited to the web monetization sort of format and market. I should admit that when I first heard about web monetization, I thought it was more limited. I thought it was just an API for metered streaming payments. And frankly, I was kind of annoyed that they were using such a general term, the Web Monetization Standard, for such a huge problem that a lot of people are working on. It seemed like it would be confusing, like naming your Explorer blockchain or your wallet Coinbase or something. But after learning more about it, I now understand that it's actually super flexible and reasonably open. And so it makes sense as an umbrella term, kind of in the lineage of web payments. And while my reductionist understanding arguably wasn't wrong, it was lacking important details, and once I researched it further, I really changed my mind. Honestly, my mind has been changed about both the name being wrong and also about the huge potential for this web standard. I now think it could radically alter the business models of the web. So what exactly is web monetization? The website splash page says it's, quote, a JavaScript browser API that allows the creation of a payment stream from the user agent to the website. So it's a streaming payment API? Sounds pretty basic and non-revolutionary if you just talk about it in isolation. It's when you put it in the context of Web3 and use it with other decentralized networks that its power really shines. So that's what we'll do in the next episode. We'll dive into the technology behind the Web Monetization Standard and its history. And in part 3 of this little mini series, we will get into how to use it and how it works with OIP and other Web3 protocols. And in the meantime, if you have a video topic suggestion or a book recommendation or just something cool that you think I should know about, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. I'm Amy of Alexandria. You can follow the channel at OpenIndexProto. And don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.